Hello, I'm Rebecca. Welcome back to my simple country life. Today we're going to be doing a little bit different of a garden tour. I'm going to be going around and showing you my collections of knickknacks, doodads, whatnots, tchotchkes, just little garden ornaments, decorations, statues, those kind of things I've collected over the years. Just thought it'd be something fun, and the ones that I can remember where I got them, I'll let you know. But I figure there'll be quite a few that I don't know where they came from. Here we go. The first thing is this bird bath that I put together. This is in the back garden bed, and it needs some water. It needs to be washed out. It needs some water in it, but it's a makeshift bird bath that I made out of a plant stand and the bottom of a planter. The saucer for a planter. So that needs to be washed out and filled with water. But I got both of those items at Lowe's and just kind of carried the plant stand around with me till I found the right size and color saucer that I wanted to put in it, and ignore the bucket that blew out into the backyard. But anyway, so that's one of the things. In this deck ramp garden, I have this little windmill flower, and it gets moved around a lot because it likes to fall over, so I'm trying to find a spot where it's happy and won't fall over. I got that at a store called At Home in Springfield, Missouri. And this is a little metal bunny. I found him at a Red Rex thrift store, also in Springfield. And then down here, this bottle holder, I'm probably going to paint it green because I was kind of wanting this to look like a flower. I thought maybe I had some yellow bottles, but I didn't, so I went with a brown bottle in the middle and green bottles around to try to make it look like a flower. And then I think I'm going to paint it green. Found this at Red Rex thrift store, actually just yesterday. This sign, "There's no place like home," I got it at the store called At Home. That's one of my favorite stores. You'll see several things here from that store, as you will see several things that I found at the Red Rex thrift stores. Over here I have my little bee flag. I found that at, I believe, at Walmart. And this little gnome couple we ordered off of Amazon because I thought we needed a gnome couple. And that little flower probably came from Dollar General. These two flowers over here came from Menards. I do wish they had a yellow one. They've got a yellow tulip looking one, but I don't like it as well as these. I love red, yellow, and blue together, so if I could find a yellow flower that went with those, I would be happy. This little bunny is actually indoor decoration, but I got him for $5 at a thrift store in Elsinore, Missouri. This little cake stand we turned into a Pollinator watering station. It's a cake stand with a lip, and I just put some pebbles in it and water, and got this idea from Robbie, Visit Our Garden. Love his YouTube channel, love watching him and Brent work together, but I thought that was really a neat idea to use a cake plate for a Pollinator watering station, so I stole that idea for myself. We have this little guy. I think he's probably supposed to be a cheetah or a leopard, but since he's pink, I've been calling him my Pink Panther, and he's a recent addition, and I got him, I believe, for $5 at Dollar General. For some reason, it struck me as cute, and they had him in pink and orange, but I had to get the pink one because of Pink Panther. This is my little Buddha. He is also supposed to be an indoor decoration, but he is hanging out outside. I got him for $4 at a thrift store near Brosley, Poplar Bluff, Missouri. And I just think he's very cute and likes just hanging out in the garden. Here we have another combination makeshift bird bath. The burrow cow, I'm not really sure what this little feller on the bottom is supposed to be, but I got him on clearance at Home. And the bowl on top I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby. It's got a chip underneath that caterpillar's tail, that caterpillar pot hanger I got at the plant show, garden and plant show we went to at the fairgrounds earlier this year. up here on the porch. Pardon the mess from all the oak tree pollen. But I got this little wire apple at Red Rack's thrift store yesterday. I got the plant stand and the blue pot at Menards, as well as all the flowers that are in the pot. Over here, this beautiful wire basket I found at CA thrift store in Nixa, Missouri. And then I just got the little plastic planter and plants at Menards to put in it. And I love that. It was $15, and that's more than I would generally spend on a thrift item, but I couldn't walk away. Over here we have a freebie, and it's just hanging on this table because I haven't decided what to do with it yet. But this is a pot hanger that was in my parents' home when they lived in southeast Missouri. And then when they moved to Arkansas, there wasn't a place for it in Mom's new kitchen, so it had been sitting out in their garage for 19, 20 years. I said, I'll take it for my garden. So it's been sitting out here for about a year and I'll figure out what to do with it. I just think it looks neat, and I've seen similar things in other people's gardens that they probably paid quite a bit for. Of course, it didn't have the hanging thing on top, but still, it was free and it looks cool. Down here in what I'm calling the pedestal garden, I have this beautiful metal butterfly, and I cannot remember where I got her from. It was either probably at home or Hobby Lobby would be my guess. Down here we have this cute praying mantis, and he has a bobblehead, so if the wind's blowing just right, his little head wiggles, and that is so cute. Got him at Menards. Had to think about that one. Okay, down here we have this little snail, and I love him. For some reason I've been fascinated with snails lately. You'll see a few of them around the garden. Got him at Hobby Lobby. This little bluebird back here, I call my bluebird of happiness. I think she came from either at home or Hobby Lobby. I do not remember. This pedestal, in what I call the pedestal garden, came from my son's house when they were moving from Missouri to Ohio, and they didn't want it, so I brought it home with me. And it currently doesn't have anything sitting on top of it, but it will again eventually. Over here in what I call the angel garden, I have Julie Angel, and she came from my parents' house. She had been sitting up on their porch for years and years and years. Mother asked if I wanted her for my garden, and I said yes, I do. So she came with me. I think she originally maybe came from Walmart many years ago. The little bunny rabbit I found at Lowe's and brought it home. The Nana's garden I found at Menards. The leaves in the back with the bottle on it, there was once a flower on top of that. The flower broke off, and I thought, well, I'm just going to make a bottle plant out of it. The little snail in front there from Hobby Lobby. We have this cute little gnome house, and the door does open, and I may eventually move this over by the pond and leave the door open in case a toad wants to use it for a toad house. I just thought it was really cute, and that came from Hobby Lobby. Down here we have another Hobby Lobby snail, and once again, apparently for whatever reason I'm into snails right now, and I think I've seen them in other colors, and if I find some in other colors I may grab them, I may not. Alright, this little jewel back here, I've just got it tied up for now to get it out of the way of mowing the yard. I plan on painting it black, and I also plan on digging up that lemongrass and putting a clematis here. That shepherd's hook there, that is something for my parents' yard. I've got 3 or 4 of those total. I'm not really sure why that's stuck there. There's no telling why. But anyway, this I got this for $15, and you can tell it's off of a porch railing. But I thought, well, shoot, I'll just use it for a clematis trellis. And over here we've started our deck. That'll be the bottom level, and we're just bracing, and so, but we'll talk about that another time. That's gotten started. I forgot over here I do not remember where I got that rooster hook. I got it when we were building our chicken coop 5 or 6 years ago. But this rooster wind chime, I got at Hobby Lobby. And I had to get it because it had chicken. We used to have chickens, I think I just mentioned that, and loved them. This bee came from At Home, I think, last year. This beautiful sculpture here, I bought at the Yard and Garden Show, and a gentleman had made them. I think that's the finial piece, and I'm not sure what the other pieces are, but he made those. He also had some beautiful rebar bottle trees. And there was one for $100 I was going to get, and my husband goes, well, I can make that for you. I'm like, well, okay, we'll take some pictures and get on it. Eventually he'll make it for me. I know he will. And this compass I got on here, I got my little compass app on my phone, and this is generally, you know, how it goes. And north is that way, south is behind me, west is to my left, east is to my right, facing the dial. So I like that. I like that I could put it there and I didn't have to have it somewhere wonky. So I like having that compass there. And that's all on the angel garden. Let's go over to the veggie garden. Okay, and we're just going to talk about the decor in the veggie garden because I'm not real thrilled with how the veggie garden is going right now, and then that's a discussion for another date. This little tractor, and that's a chicken feeder thing turned upside down on top of it. This was my husband's sister had bought this with some flowers in it for their uncle's grave. And then after the flowers and everything were gone, and before the cemetery people were going to come through and clean up the graves, we were out there, and my husband said, you know, get that. We don't want it to get, you know, thrown away or anything. And so it's been moving around the garden ever since, and I thought tractor belonged over in the veggie patch. Here we have a cute little fat chicken that I got on very discounted clearance because he's slightly busted. But that's okay. I thought he was cute. We do need to drill some holes in the bottom. There's a random plant stand over here. I don't know why I moved it over here, but random plant stand. And then here's Hey Hey that my sister brought to me on her last visit. And she'd got it on one of her vacations. And he needed to be out in the veggie garden too. And he is just too cute and hanging out. And I love the bright colors. Over here, we have the 2 bottle trees I made out of old vines that were growing up the fence. Stupid, creeping winter, it's winter something, but it's invasive and it's everywhere, and it grew up into trees. But this is where our shed's going to be, and that's a project for another day too. That triangle is where the shed's going to sit. So the shed will be between the 2 bottle trees. So, over here in the St. Francis garden, or what will be the St. Francis garden, we have St. Francis of Assisi statue and a little puppy dog. And I want to find a little cat that kind of matches everything and put it out here too. And over here we've got a black and gold chicken. And oh, okay, I've been forgetting to tell you. So St. Francis statue came from At Home. The dog also came from At Home. I think I told you about the stuff in the garden bed where it came from. The black and gold chicken came from a thrift store at Wapapello Lake, there by the interstate. And then that gold star, or not really copper looking star, came from clearance at Hobby Lobby. But yeah, we were camping at Wapapello Lake this weekend, and we hit up all the thrift stores on Saturday afternoon. So, and I found that little chicken, and I thought he was so cute. And since we did have chickens and we did have some that passed, I thought, well, we need to have that out in the St. Francis garden too. Over here we have Pond in Progress, And right now I just have that little solar fountain in it. I did buy a solar powered pump to go in here. I just haven't got it set up yet. And we've got to finish doing the rocks around it. We've been collecting rocks. They're everywhere. Some of them are too big for me to lift. So we'll eventually get this set up, and that'll be a ornamental feature in the garden. And then over here we just have, I got that, the rusty looking one. I think it's supposed to be a plant stand, or it could be a obelisk. I got it at a thrift store in Nixa, Missouri. This obelisk here, I think I got that one at Menards. This rusty milk can was my parents', and now it's mine. This obelisk here I got on sale at Hobby Lobby. And so I've been collecting those for a little while, and those will get moved around the garden. Right now they're around the peonies. And I think that's it, other than little metal flowers here and there that we got at the Dollar General. But there is one more thing I want to show you. Actually, two more things. This horseshoe we found out in the yard in the gravel when we were moving stuff around. And it was when we were adding these steps and stuff here and putting the fence around for the dog yard. So I wanted to put it there for good luck. So we have that. And then the second thing is this old mailbox. And pardon my shadow, I'm going to try to get out of the way. Now I know, I can't, is it Jen from Hooked and Rooted? I don't think that's her name, but the lady on Hooked and Rooted, she had talked about that and mentioned this in one of her garden tips and trick videos. But I had actually first seen the idea on Pinterest, you know, where all the good things come from. So you just have an old mailbox, and you keep your gloves and your snippers and your little, you know, your little tools, little small tools, and it keeps them clean and dry and handy for the garden. So I just wanted to share that. And so that's all the tchotchkes that I have collected so far for the garden. There will probably be more at later dates. But anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. Please like, comment, subscribe, and y'all come back.